closer and they saw a portrait of Beatrice Dixon, Ludovico's wife, and the next image that we will see right now is a very unique and a very important image. It is not like a visual word, and there is a story associated with this particular word which has to be told. Now, this particular word created a huge sensation in the art world and in the field of Renaissance studies lately, because this was discovered as a true human. And this was discovered say 2009, 2010. It's a very late and a very new discovery. Now, just some background of this particular story. In Ludovico's documents, one comes across this particular detail. In Ludovico's documents, one comes across this particular detail that Leonardo da Vinci was employed in making an illustrated book on the occasion of his daughter's marriage, and his daughter's name was Bianca Sposa. Now, we have this detail, but we don't have the book, we don't have the visual, we don't have almost anything. Now, there are many art historians who have been hunting this particular book and whatever that may kind of come with it for years, or say ages, without much success. Now, suddenly, one art historian got lucky, and there is no surprise behind this art historian's luck, because this art historian is none other than the great Martin Kim, who has been regarded as the worldwide authority of Leonardo, and who has been the kind of best of all Leonardo scholars. He has been writing on Leonardo since the 1980s, and his works on Leonardo are considered to be the best works on this subject so far. He has both a background in science and art. He took a course in science, a professional course in science, just to understand Leonardo. You can just think of his dedication. And for the last 20, 30, 40 years, he has been working on Leonardo and hunting for all the examples, documents, anything that can be obtained, which would shed some light on Leonardo's studies. Now, Martin came across a number of pictures, number of paintings, which may or may not look like Bianca Sposa's portrait. And there was one portrait which he kind of got interested in, this one, because this was copied by a number of artists in later times. And Martin thought that why in the 16th and in the 17th century there would be so much copies of this one portrait, if not for the reason that it is painted by a very important artist, by a very important man. Now, while he examined this particular work, he kind of saw a few details. He saw that all the brush strokes are from left to right. So there is no doubt that whoever has painted it is a left-handed artist. And this kind of went towards this hunch that this may be Leonardo da Vinci, who was left-handed. Sure. And then there are other details as well. For example, the decoration over here, which corresponds very well to the knots that Leonardo was inventing at this particular point of time. When you look at the hair, look at the details here and there are many things that basically give you a feel that it is painted by a very sure and a very skillful hand. But still, these points are not enough to kind of prove it as a real Leonardo. Now, what Martin saw, what he kind of found, was that this particular work has these little dots over here, which means that it has been torn apart, torn out of a particular book of some about volume. So what he did was next, he started hunting for that book which may have contained this particular work. Now this is like a wild goose chase, and he talked to all those important libraries in all parts of Europe, and send this message to various people that whenever you come across a volume which has something to do with Vian Sforza, let me know. And there were a few books which kind of had to do with Sforza and all, but they kind of did not match because he kind of went more into this. This is Martin Ken, and definitely one of the greatest art historians of all time, and brilliant. And he also kind of saw these little similarities, that the kind of drawings of the eyes, the kind of stylistic similarities of say 1490s Leonardo, and these kind of dots over here all correspond to the kind of visual language Leonardo was working with. But then the point is, he cannot prove this particular painting as a Leonardo without the aid of the book. And bingo, in 2007, he got a call from Poland, and in Warsaw there was a library where they claim that they have this book on the Sforza family. So he went to Warsaw, went to the library, checked it, and it seems that this particular book was a commemorative book on Bianca's marriage. So when Bianca was married off, say at a young age, the father, Ludovico Sforza, gave her a lot of gifts of all kinds. And this particular illustrated album, with a lot of text, with a lot of say admonitions of good life, marriage, and religious life, ceremonies, etc., was one thing. And Martin had no doubt that this particular book was assigned to Leonardo da Vinci for designing and for binding, and probably he kind of painted this particular portrait as a cover of this particular book. So next he kind of made a facsimile of this particular painting, went to Warsaw and tried to kind of match, and every little binding spots kind of matched this book. So this was the moment of the bingo moment, the kind of great moment where this painting absolutely fit into this particular book. And not only that, he also found the page from which it is torn, because normally when you kind of tear up page from a book, on the opposite side of the kind of round volume, you have one page that will come loose, right? So there was one loose page. We kind of found it out, kind of put it there, and also found say other little say decorations by Leonardo da Vinci in this particular book. So this was say a great discovery, an amazing discovery, and this was basically one of the kind of star attractions of this Leonardo show in London. And I kind of when I kind of saw this show, I met Louis Sison, who was the curator, and he told me that Martin has discovered it and all that. I had absolutely no clue because it happened just a year before. I was not updated. So what I also did was, I wrote a mail to Martin, who was very gracious, who kind of wrote back, and he asked me to meet him in one of those Wickham Art Foundation libraries. So I went there, met him, and got the entire story of how it happened, what it happened, and what it stands for. And then there is also another word which Martin discovered, and he's still unsure whether it's true or false, or whether it can be established as a Leonardo, and you will see this in the video right now. Next. Yes, this word is known as Christ Salvator Mundi, Christ as the Savior of the world. And here you can see that is holding a crystal ball which represents the universe. Now, we don't know much about this painting. It was sold as a 17th, 18th century painting to some art dealer, and then he claimed that it can be say original Leonardo, and some people believe, some people believe not. In a sense, in a way, this painting is very badly damaged, and we don't know for sure whether it is a real Leonardo or not. However, there are some other things involved. In Vasari's Lives of the Great Artists, Vasari mentions that Leonardo did paint a picture of Christ as Salvador Mundi with this crystal ball, and represented as a symbol of earth. And Martin kind of thinks that this may be the painting that Vasari was referring to. It is badly damaged, and there are no circumstantial say evidences or say other evidences which can prove it as a Leonardo. but so far it has been accepted as can be Leonardo and of course it was also a big attraction of the show. Again, the details of the garment, kind of designs on the robe are all say analogous to Leonardo's own invention of the knots and those designs. Even the hand here and the orb are presented very beautifully. So there is a big possibility that this can be Leonardo. But opponents of this particular view says that the face is not very convincing. The eyes are rather blank, and it usually kind of overall say lacks the kind of life and the grace that you see in Leonardo's work. We do not know, but so far it is getting accepted as a positive. The kind of scale is tilted towards an original Leonardo, and maybe so. However, as far as Leonardo studies is concerned, there is also another problem in attributing real works to Leonardo, especially due to the Milanese face. After completing this portrait of Cecilia Gallerani, Leonardo became so famous that he was given a number of assistants to work with him. One assistant was called Ambrogio de Pratis, one assistant was called Francesco Renzi, another assistant was called Giovanni Antonio Montefiore. Now these artists worked with him closely and sometimes collaborated on a lot of projects. And there is also another side to it. German art historian who is also an authority of Zola. I could not meet Zola because he came on the design table. I had a presentation with him, so it just coincided with the meeting. But fortunately, Martin was there to provide all these details. Yeah, so coming back, talking about say Leonardo's assistants, Francesco Renzi, Ambrogio de Pratis, and Giovanni Antonio Montefiore. These artists assisted Leonardo during the Milanese period, and there was an interesting side to Leonardo's workshop. Interestingly, Leonardo himself was, and you know this, Leonardo himself was a little free. He would accept commissions, he would start working, and then he would like it so much he will decide that the patron does not deserve this work anymore. Or otherwise he will start working and he will lose interest. So it was very difficult to kind of sit on his head and to make him do something good. But when he had these workshops, it kind of did something good to him. What he would do now is he would accept a commission, do the basic layouts, do some drawings and all that, then hand it over to Montefiore or Ambrogio de Pratis or Francesco Renzi, and they will paint and do all these details, and the work will be done. So between 1493 and 1497, just before he began working on the Last Supper, there were a few workshop products which came from Leonardo's place, Leonardo's Milanese workshop, which historians still write on whether they are real Leonardos or whether they are fake Leonardos or whether they are workshop products or whatever. We do not know how publishers can help us here. What we all know is this was the time when Leonardo made a lot of money by outsourcing his work and his labor, and his workshop was a very flourishing, very illustrious, very important work. Next. Oh, never mind. These are the copies, the versions of sample. Now this is one word on which the art historians are still fighting. This is from St. Petersburg. It's in a monastery museum in St. Petersburg. And all St. Petersburg art historians, go on this war cry saying that this is a original Leonardo. And no Leonardo scholar is going to do that. They say that this is not an original Leonardo. So much say arguments and much differences are happening over this particular work. No doubt it is a very beautiful work. No doubt it is a work of a very high quality. But whether it is a true Leonardo or not, we have to wait and see. Now let's look at the head of this figure, the face of Madonna. This is called Madonna Vita. Next. This was undoubtedly modeled on this drawing from life, which Leonardo did around say 1904, and this is definitely one of the finest drawings of say women that say Leonardo did in his entire life, and no doubt the Magna was model was based on this particular drawing. But then again, next, there are also other details, other say sketches which are not by Leonardo but by his assistant Montefiore. And there is this particular detail of the road, the wrapping and all that, and there is also this detail of the child that is piece of his mother's dress. And if you take all these together, it seems that Leonardo, the most probable theory is that Leonardo did the face and gave it to Montefiore and said that you kind of improvise on it and make this finished painting. Now, can we go back to the slide? Now, when you see this original, you see that there is something incongruous about it. You can see that the face kind of moves forward, breaks down, but the body stands clear because Leonardo did the drawing from real model who was bending forward, whereas Montefiore did the drawing from a woman who kind of stood straight. Yes? Yes? Yeah, stood absolutely straight. Can you go back? Yes. Now, as a result, it almost looks like a kind of bending head is kind of fixed on an erect body, which is why it kind of gives this very strange, say columnar effect that you normally don't see in these models. There are also other details, the Christ child, the face and the look and the eyes are really bad. This kind of be say two Leonardos, and also the background, they don't correspond. They are very light and also very unimaginative compared to typical Leonardo works. So in all possibility, this was one of those workshop products which should justly be assigned as, say, commission work done together by Leonardo and Montefiore. Probably the credit should go to Montefiore rather than Leonardo. But then, of course, debates and say arguments are still going on. Now, during his kind of stay in Milan, Leonardo came up with this idea that he wanted to do a monument for Ludovico Sforza's grandfather, Francesco Sforza, who was a great ruler and a great warrior. And he was assigned to kind of build this large statue of Francesco Sforza on horseback. And this statue was supposed to be, say 30 feet high and huge. And Leonardo was full of confidence and was extremely ambitious. So the first drawing to show that he wanted to kind of have this 30 feet high bronze statue, of this horse stand on the two rear legs and kind of have the front legs move up and kind of clear with the cedar on the back. And this one as well. So the first stage is extremely ambitious, but he kind of wants to prove the point that even in sculpture he has no rules. And this is very typical Leonardo. Whatever he does, he actually believes that he can do it better than any living human being. And in most cases it was true. And this was the basic plan. This was what he showed Francisco Sforza. And then he kind of started working modeling, and the more he kind of faced the realistic constraints, the more he realized that these are very difficult project to accomplish. So next he kind of puts these figures here and kind of put this weight, and then still it's too big to handle. So then he puts one more leg over here, one leg up, so that the balance is properly done. And then he kind of talks about the casting and all the possible ways with which he can realize this particular project. And then finally, he kind of comes close to another very modest version of Francesco Sforza riding a horseback. And developing on this particular work, he kind of made a huge clay model of this particular statue. He made a clay model which was 30 feet high. He drew a lot of horses, studied from them, their muscles, the way they kind of stand, everything, and put all the ideas, all the observations into work, and came up with this idea. And here you see that best to come up with a method to cast this large kind of bronze statue. And all the details are given how newer ways casting can be made, etc., etc. And he was very happy that this is finally going to work. And right then, when Leonardo was at the height of his optimism, war broke out. War broke out, and Ludovico Sforza had to kind of go for war. And then the kind of hundreds of tons of bronze that was assembled for the casting of this horse was sent to kind of be built and make cerebrals and make shields and several things. And Leonardo was completely heartbroken. His biggest dream, his biggest ambition just fell flat on his face. And within 3 years, Ludovico Sforza, the Sforza family, lost the war to the French advancing troops. The French troops invaded the town, and what did they see? They saw on the main public square this large statue of this the kind of colossal 30 feet, say tall, clay statue of a horse. So all these military people, they thought we have to make good use of the horse. So they summoned all the archers and did basically archery competitions. Who can shot at the eye of this horse? So within 2 days, the horse was completely broken into pieces and destroyed. No trace, no remains, no drawings, nothing. This particular project was completely wiped out from the history of settlement of Italian West. And Leonardo, completely dejected, completely heartbroken, decided that he would return to Florence. However, at this time, he suddenly got a new commission, suddenly got a new call from a church called Santa Maria della Grazia, or Church of Saint Mary, whom we thank. So Santa Maria della Grazia, who kind of got patronized by Ludovico Sforza and the family, and had some autonomy by themselves, and they asked Leonardo to make a fresco, to do a mural in the refectory, basically in the canteen, where the monks used to come, sit on the long tables and used to have dinner. And for that, Leonardo came up with this ingenious idea of painting the Last Supper. Now what we do is, I think I'm also tired and this is also quite long. We'll have another session. We'll have a session tomorrow. And tomorrow we talk about the kind of Machigo and the last bit of say Leonardo's career. We talk about Last Supper. We talk about the Virgin of the Rocks London version. We talk about Leonardo's notebooks, his drawings, and we talk about the movies. Okay? So tomorrow at 6 we are getting a simple start from the Last Supper.